David, in the final few hours before this vote, what can you do to help bring the World Cup to England in 2018?
I think a lot of the hard work's obviously been done. We're still going to be meeting with some of the committee members and obviously the delegates, and you know, it's just about, you know, putting our point across again and again. You know, saying the reasons why that we believe we should have the World Cup in our country and that we're the right people to go for. I think majority of people know that. I think it's just you know, a case now of just putting the icing on the top of the cake.
12 votes are needed. Do you know how many England have got guaranteed?
No, I know a few, obviously, but you know, it's not for me to obviously sit here and say who I know is definitely going to vote for us and who I think is going to vote for us, because you never know at the end of the day. But I believe that we've got a lot of supporters through the members and through the committee. So you know, things are looking good. Things are looking, you know, positive, and we're very confident. What
reaction are you getting from members of FIFA's executive committee?
Like I said, a very positive one. You know, obviously, you know, the stuff that's gone on in the last few days has been spoke about. It has to be spoken about. We spoke to the president about you know, everything that had been said, and he guaranteed us that, you know, that wouldn't affect our vote and obviously the end result. So, you know, we were happy with that. Of course, we've just been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. You know, having the Prime Minister here, having Prince William here, you know, that's a huge thing for us. It's a huge thing for our country, for our Prime Minister and the future King of England to be here supporting this bid. It's you know, we can't downplay that because it's a big thing.
What influence do you think David Cameron and Prince William can also bring to this?
Obviously, it brings a lot of, you know, just a huge, you know, the expectations that we have in our country are huge, and to have the support, not just, you know, because everyone knows the support that we have from fans, the support that we have from people in England. You know, everyone in England wants this World Cup. Everyone in England is so passionate about, you know, the biggest sporting event in the world. You know, for England for so many years, I've seen, you know, the excitement that is brought to our country when, you know, we have a World Cup in our country, and the support that our fans show. So, you know, to have the weight of the future King of England, to have the weight of the Prime Minister actually here, the presence of them being here, you know, is huge. I saw that in Singapore when I was there, and Tony Blair was there. You know, to have, you know, that kind of stature and that kind of royalty, you know, in the bid with us in the actual country, you know, is huge.
It's being reported that you've met the Cameroon member, Issa Hayatou. I don't know if that's something that you want to confirm or not.
We walked past him yesterday and I said hello to him, and we've obviously spoke to many of the members. So, you know, has given us positive feedback and told us what kind of things that we should be doing over the next few days, because that's one of obviously the questions that we ask. And, you know, everything that we've heard has been positive feedback. So, you know, we believe that we're in a good position. You know, I know that we're going to work hard to get in a better position, and, you know, I know Prince William had a breakfast this morning at 7:30 with one of the members, and, you know, it's all about meeting the guys, point across, making sure that, you know, each point that we have to get this World Cup to our country is put across to the members, and everything that we are going to do in the future for, you know, for the future of the kids in, you know, not just in our country but all over the world.
You launched an academy in Trinidad and Tobago a short time ago. How influential do you think your relationship with Jack Warner, the FIFA Vice President, could be in this? He's seen as a crucial vote.
To be honest, I've always, you know, putting that aside, I've always had a good relationship with Jack. I think that, you know, when we played over there for England, and, you know, it was my 50th cap as England captain, actually, there. And, you know, I got on with him well there, and obviously I promised him that I would go over and open the academy. So, of course, you know, his vote is crucial, but there's other votes that we need as well, and I think that we're working hard towards that. But like I said, you know, I've always had a really good relationship with Jack. He, you know, when we was over there, you know, I met his family, his friends. Yeah, it was a great trip. But you know, obviously, he's a very important man.
What's it like for you personally? We're used to seeing you on the pitch. Here you are as an ambassador, rubbing shoulders with royalty, with heads of states.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's funny, you know. I still have to pinch myself many a times, you know, to actually, you know, see myself on TV sat next to the Prime Minister and the future of England. Even, you know, one of my friends texted me this morning. He was like, "Seriously, you're an East End boy." But you know, to see that, you know, I'm very honoured to be a part of this World Cup bid, because you know, everyone knows how passionate I am about, you know, playing for England and being English. But to be able to be part of this bid and trying to bring the World Cup to, you know, I'm very proud of that.
Have you thought about it yet? What if taking the children when you're in your 40s to the World Cup in England?
I dream of taking my boys to, you know, World Cup games. You know, they've been lucky enough to have seen their dad play in a few, but you know, to be able to sit in a stadium with my sons in England and watch a World Cup game would be a dream.
What involvement would you like to have in that World Cup?
We'll see. You know, we'll see what the future holds for me at that point. You know, I'll be 43 at that point, so I don't think I'll still be playing, but you never know. But no, you know, I would obviously want an involvement. I'd love to be involved in a World Cup if we had it in our country.
Are these final few hours all about gaining momentum? People talk about that in Singapore with the Olympics. It's all about the momentum that's growing, the feel-good factor. Are you sensing that?
Yeah, I felt that this morning when I woke up. You know, I felt, you know, I watched some of the coverage on Sky and I watched some of the coverage on CNN, and you can feel that momentum getting up now and picking up pace. And I think, you know, having, you know, Prince William, having, you know, the Prime Minister here has helped that a lot, and I think that's one of the reasons why that momentum has turned around from, you know, the negative kind of side when we arrived a couple of days ago. Now everything's positive and everything is gaining, you know, that momentum that we actually need to make that final push.
You've been involved in events in the past. What does it feel like at the moment?
I'm excited, I must admit, you know, and when I was involved in Singapore with the Olympic bid, I think that, you know, I never realised how rewarding that was going to be, and that was for the Olympics. Now, to be involved in the World Cup draw, a World Cup bid to get it to England, you know, even more exciting.
And what messages of support have you had from back home in England?
Obviously, I've had messages from friends, from family, just, you know, friends texting me this morning just saying, you know, how's it looking, you know, from quite a few of my mates, and, you know, I just said, we're looking good, but, you know, fingers crossed, and, you know, we've got the support of the whole country. That's the thing. You know, we spoke about the negative that has been said over the last couple of days, but it's all positive now, and there's not one, you know, of the media that would turn around and say the World Cup in our country, because, you know, when our media get behind us, when our media get behind a big competition, it doesn't get any better than that.
How close is this going to end up, do you think?
It's going to be close. It's going to be close, but to be honest, I've been involved in a few games which have gone down to, you know, the last few minutes, and we know that we have to, you know, play and continue hard right till the last minute, because it's going to go all the way.
Thanks, David.
You're welcome.